Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm going to bring to you a spoiler-free review of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So let's get started with today's video. I'll just tell you what the book is about. Now, this is a historical fiction that is set in the adult category so that only people above 18 years of age can read and interpret the story very well. Now, it also has some elements of contemporary that are very much influencing throughout the book, and the historical fiction element of the book is also so strong that you can feel the tone of the book very well. Now, the first thing which I'd like to speak about the book is the writing. The writing of Taylor Jenkins Reid is so very much easy. Now, if you go on for the descriptions that she makes, she just makes use of so simple words in order to express or describe things which are so complex to describe, and even very very minute things about the character or about the setup in which the story takes place is very well executed and very well written by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So if you ask me how's the writing for The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I'd give it a total of 5 stars very easily, because the writing is simple to read as well as it brings out the tone of the book very well as well as it brings out the tone of the book in a very good way. The next thing that I'm going to speak about the book is the characters. Just as we see in the title of the story, the main character in the story is Evelyn Hugo, who is a Marilyn Monroe kind of a heroine who is depicted in the story. Now, this book is not just about the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but also the entire life of Evelyn Hugo and how she made it for herself. Now, apart from Evelyn Hugo, we also have many side characters who play very very much influential roles throughout the life of Evelyn. Now, some of the characters are her agent kind of a person, and one of her best friends who's Harry, and her lover who's Cecilia, and many other characters. If you ask me about the characters in The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I've got to list out all the 7 husbands, of which most of them are not that much important for the story. And The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is also a very catchy title because it doesn't speak about the 7 husbands in a more important way. It just speaks about the one lady who's Evelyn Hugo, who has made herself up in a very good way. And the character of Evelyn Hugo is not so good, and she's not a good person at all. She's a very polar character. That is, if you see her as a good person, she's a good person. If you see her as a bad person, she's totally a bad person. But the writing of Taylor Jenkins Reid is so good that she makes the character of Evelyn Hugo so much multi-layered, such that at the end of the book, you feel a bit empathetic for Evelyn Hugo. You just come to a decision that most of the things that she did are not wrong, but the things only a person who's put in such a situation will do. So according to me, if you ask the characters in the story, they are very well crafted and very well executed by Taylor Jenkins Reid. While speaking about the characters, I forgot the opposite character who's most important in the story, that is Monique, who's a reporter from a magazine called Vivant. It is like a magazine like Vogue, which is depicted in the story in a very fictional and very good way. And the main story takes place in 2 timelines. That is the timeline in which Evelyn Hugo was a heroine, that is, she was an actor performing, and the other timeline, which is the present, in which the interview by Evelyn Hugo is given to Monique. Now, now I'm going to speak about the plot of the book. The main plot of the book is that Evelyn Hugo, who's a very retro heroine, who's very famous, she just opts for Vivant, which is a magazine, and asks them or gives them an opportunity for an interview, and she specifically wants one of the reporters named Monique in order to take this interview or make this piece of work. And the reason for why she chose Vivant and why she chose Monique in specific is not at all told until the end of the story, which is very much engaging. If you just dig into the story, you will not be able to find out any specific reasons of why Evelyn wants Monique to interview her rather than any other person in Vivant. And she also tells at times that she likes Monique's writing, and that's the main thing that made her choose Monique in order to write her story. Now, the plot of the book is given in 2 timelines, just as I said before. One is the past and the other is the present. In past, we spend mostly like 80% of the book is in the past, and it is the main story of the book rather than in the present. The present is also good, but towards the end it pays off very well compared to the middle parts of the book and also the beginning. But the past and present are tied up in a very good way, so that it doesn't make you boring at any time. Last thing that I'm going to speak about the book is the pacing. The pacing of the book is not so fast as we see in thrillers or anything like that, because this is a historical fiction and historical fictions generally tend to be slow. But the pacing of the book is not slow as well. Just because it's not fast doesn't mean that it's slow. It's perfectly paced, if you ask me. We spend the right amount of time on each of the seven husbands. That is, we don't spend equal amounts of time speaking about each and every marriage of Evelyn Hugo, but we spend the apt amount of time in order to show the importance of that marriage which she does in order to make her life what it is now. And these seven marriages are not just for her in order to make a better life. She also marries people in order to make the lives of her loved ones a better one to live. So the pacing of the story is also very damn good, and it doesn't make you feel bored at any instant. You'll not just keep the book down just because it is slow and boring. It is slow and it is steady, and it doesn't feel boring at any instant. So my final rating for the book, if you're not able to guess after me ranting for the whole video, is that I gave it a total of 5 stars. And if you like adult books which have a lot of glamour and also which give a very good perspective of life, then go for The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That's all for today, and if you did enjoy watching the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel in order to get more content from me. Thanks for watching.